you guys have everything, like everything a business needs to know. Like someone like me who just had no clue what I was doing before. I thought I did because I was working so hard, but you really need someone that can be like, look, this is what you need to do. This is the framework. Let me grab you, hold your hand, just follow this framework and we'll take you there. I think now what we're doing per day is probably what I would have done in 4 to 6 months before. We actually went away with the kids for 3 days. And then I just remember checking through my emails and I was like, someone's bought. Oh, it's been half an hour. Somebody else has bought. Oh, another hour. And I was like, oh, is this right? So then I went into my Shopify and I was like checking and I was like, it's working. God, this does actually work. Before we joined, I think we were honestly having probably like 1 to 2 sales a day because we just weren't getting the traffic. 1 to 2 sales a day. I mean, if it was like an exceptionally amazing day, we might be like, yes, we've had 5 today.
Yeah.
But now it can go up to like 28, 30 orders a day, which means that we're making like £1,000 a day, and that's just with like the limited stock that we have now. But once we scale, then that's just going to go, like I can see how it can definitely go up and up and up. And it's the most amazing thing because all I'll do is scale my ads and then boom, we've made double. This is the first time that our profit margins have gone up so much more than they were before. And even I'm at that stage now where I think Joe was like, you can do small tweaks, but you don't really need to do very much now because it's working. But I'm at that stage where I was like, right, if I get people to add on this product, then I'll make an extra £5, which means in a month I'll make an extra 10,000. So, but this is the first time where we paid for the first deposit for the inventory up front because of the profit margins we're making. And I think by the time we probably get to the first week of the next month, I would have made enough money to pay for the rest of the inventory outright, and the rest of it is just going to be profit. She's great. So we've
That's
managed to
awesome.
order more. It's very nice, yeah, to see that finally. This has been two
Yeah.
years. Yeah, words can't explain. Because it's a really hard place when you have dreams, but you just don't. You're really working hard, and you feel like, right, this is what I'm doing, but you don't actually, you're not achieving them. So when you achieve them, it's like, it's just this huge weight. I was looking at like how much we're making now, and I'm just used to seeing those figures. And I was like, what was it like 6 months ago? And I was like, right, I really am in a complete different boat now to where it was before. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. So our brand is Kiki and Green, and we sell reusable period pads. So
Got it.
it's very much trying to explain to people, because a lot of women that see it, they didn't even know this exists. So I know that when they see it straight away, they're like, what is this? How does this work? So initially it was a lot of understanding how that works. But it's, we know we had a great product because the benefits not only for the environment, but just for women in general, because they're chemical free. They work so much better than what we have now. Before I just saw it as like a small like side hustle type of thing, but now I just know like it could help so many people. We get, before I just didn't know how far it could expand and how many people it could help. I genuinely get people or women that DM me all the time saying thank you so much for making these. Like there might be women with really heavy periods and they'd be like, I'd never be able to, when it was my time of the month for the first 2 3 days, I wouldn't even go out anywhere because I wouldn't be able to. But now I've actually been using your product. It's life changing for me. And imagine how many other women I'd be able to help like that. The 2 years before I joined the program, it was very much like I was working so hard. I do have 2 young kids, and you're still a mom doing all the house and trying to do a business on the side. So it's very much like, right, I'm working really hard, let me try this. And it's like working really, 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 really hard, but nothing was working, or it did work and then it stopped working. But now I really feel like I have like a pathway, like just follow this like North Star, and then that's it. That's just the way that you need to go. So before it was just working really hard and I just didn't know what I was doing. And there's only so many YouTube videos you can watch because one person says, okay, try this. and another person's like, no, don't try this, you need to try this. So it's just, and it's when you're trying to build a business to a certain extent, and there's nobody in your family that's done it, there's nobody that you know that's done it before, you really don't really have anybody to ask. So it can be quite a lonely place, in the sense you don't have anybody you can ask that is this what I'm doing is right, did you try this? It's just very much like, right, let me work really hard and try this, and you could just waste so much time because you just don't know what you're doing. Because my kids were so young, I did actually sell on Amazon first, and the reason was because Amazon pretty much does everything. But the huge problem with that platform is it's the wrong, for me, it was the wrong type of customer, because it was very much like, it's just a price war. Like, you could see that your product was much better than X, Y, and Z, but then when the customer sees, they says, right, this one looks nice, but X, Y, and Z is cheaper, so I'll go for that instead. So it just becomes a price war, not essentially, you can't build a brand on there. And it's just your profit margins, when that happens, they're just to shot. And I really felt like, why am I working so hard and I'm just not making I'm making some profit, but I always felt like it was nowhere near, if I knew how to do this properly, I could really be making a lot of money, and it's a great product, I just need to get it out there in front of people so I could show them. I tried what I like to call the University of YouTube.
Yes, I know this one. Yeah.
University of YouTube. So everybody has different ideas, you try a few, and really it's like how Daryl says that everybody's in a I mean, he uses another term, but I won't use that, how everyone's talking about trying to make the most revenue as possible. But I always was like, okay, that's great, you're doing that, but the way they're teaching you is your margins are rubbish. Why would I be building a business like that? Because how can you scale a business which runs on that principle? You're wasting your time, and you're losing money, because you think, actually I'd be saving money because I'll be trying to work it out for myself, but in fact you're losing money because you're learning from people that don't know how to scale a business to the extent that you want to scale a business. When you look at the Campaign Compass, that's life changing, because you can really see, like from a 30 feet view, like what's actually gone wrong here. There was a few things that I really, that did surprise me and that I really loved, was the fact that you're in a community where there's people who are just like you, who are building businesses or have dreams and want to accomplish big things with their business just like you do, because otherwise you can't find people like that. I mean, in the world that I'm in, like with my family, or nobody has this mindset that I have. They don't understand, they can't help you. When you talk about things, you have no one to speak to. But I liked it in the community, because you could have a question, but if you search, there's someone else that's already asked that same question, and you can learn from so much from so many other businesses. It's a good thing and a bad thing, the entrepreneurial mindset, because it's very much like, right, let me try and work this out, and let me think outside the box, and let me try and work this out myself. But you can't do that until you have someone that's guiding you the way, because we're just lost otherwise. I mean, initially when you join the course, it's a bit overwhelming, because it's like, oh, these guys know what they're doing. Will I be able to learn how to do that too? So, but the thing is, it's all set out step by step. I was like, oh, okay, it's actually not overwhelming at all. I just need to follow along with what they're saying. If I have questions, I'll ask a question. If there's things I'm not sure about, I'll see if someone else has been through that same issue. And you guys are always there to give a helping hand. Like, if you just, any question, and however silly you think your question might be, it's like you're always there to answer it. And sometimes you realize, actually, it wasn't a silly question, it was just a mental barrier that I have, and I've overcome that, and I can move forward now. So it's, you guys just completely understand what's going on in someone's head, because I guess you've been there, done that. One of the things I should say, actually, I love the most, it was when you guys talk about leveraging, like these are the levers that are going to cause the biggest amount of profit or change in your business. So for me, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, great, because I don't have time to focus on all these other bits and bobs. What can I do that's really going to have the biggest impact in my business? My brother once saw one of my ads, which is strange, because I did put
Why
it
is he
down
getting it?
for women. Did you put it down anyway? Something clearly went wrong there. But he screenshot me and he said, your ad has 215,000 views. And he was like, so now you're starting to make money, aren't you? And I was like, I am. I'm going to start looking into new a new product as well, because now we'll finally have money that we can invest into that too. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to probably look into like period pain relief products as well, because that would
Awesome.
be amazing to go
Mm.
with the pads that we have, because they're the number one problems that women have. So them two together would be great. So that is the next goal, probably for the next 3 to 6 months, I would say. Like, I know what I'm doing now. Like, I know the pathway. Like, I have my goals. It's outlined. I can see the way now, whereas before it was like so cloudy. Like, I just did it, let's go this way, let's open this door, let's try this one, that doesn't work. But now I finally like, okay, I just have to follow this pathway, that's all I have to do, let's not complicate it, just follow this pathway, done. And also thank you for helping me become a better mum, because my time is so much more better managed. Like,
Mm.
I mean, when I'm with my kids, like, I have like my schedule of what I'm doing. I'm working on the most important things. So when I'm with my kids, I just feel like, yeah, that's my time. I'm with my kids now. Because before, I think one of the biggest problems I had is also I didn't know when to switch off on the business. I was like constantly working on the business, but just not really producing any results. So now when
Mm.
I'm with them, I'm just like, yeah, that's it now. Like, if I was to go, like, this weekend, I'll be going away with my kids visiting some family. But when I'm there, I'll be like, yeah, that's fine. The business is running, it's doing its thing. This is my time to be with my kids right now. I don't need to be working on it right now. One of the things in the course, it just reminded me, like, why are you actually doing this business? What are your main goals? And it was like, actually, because it is about making the money, but it's also about being free. You just want, well, for
Mm.
me anyway, it was just, I just want to be free. I want my time to belong to me and my family. You guys really are the real deal. And just don't waste time. It's the smallest investment that you can make in your if you look at the long-term goals that you have in your business. If anyone's seen you guys and they're just not sure, honestly, just join. It will be life-changing for you. I
Mm.
promise you that. As long as you listen to what these guys have to say and work hard, it will change everything for you. I finally feel free.